everyone, Darren here, and on today's episode of WotC Academy, we are going to look at part 2 of the map control video that I posted a couple weeks ago. So, in part 1, I mentioned at the end of the video that there are many factors that can actually dictate whether or not a team that is in a corner or has been cornered or has lost map control pretty much has the ability to use these factors and turn the game around into their favor. I may have worded that a little bit weird, but it will make sense here. Now, I figured the best way to actually demonstrate what I'm talking about with these factors is by using a replay, and this replay was from a stream a little bit ago, and so for those that are familiar with what happens when I take a clip from a stream is there is no audio, and I put a fancy little image or logo in the top left hand corner to hide my wonderful face so you don't confuse who's talking. So yeah, we have some time to talk, so we're just gonna let this replay go before we get to the bits of the replay that matter. So, like I said, with the factors that can dictate the outcome of a battle, these factors can be many things, and it's some of which I cannot explain in detail simply because they vary heavily on a game-by-game basis. And that could be, those are factors like the skill set of the enemy team, of both teams, you know, the morale level of both teams, like are they, do they still have a fight in them, or do they feel mentally defeated, you know, mentality, morale type of issues and factors to consider there. But the factors that I can discuss are the following right here on this list is the losing team's remaining health, the losing team's remaining tanks. Are any platoons still alive? So, you know, are there any people that have voice communication that are able to talk and work together, share information? The terrain that the losing team is on. Are they on a hill? Are they in a bowl? You know, are they in flat ground? Is it moderately hilly? Are they in a city? The cover that is provided to the losing team. So, do they have you know, hard cover they can hide behind that you can't shoot and destroy? Do they have soft cover that you can shoot and destroy, or do they have no cover at all? And then lastly, the game mode. That's another one that matters a lot. Is it, can you defeat them simply by capping a base? Or do you actually have to win by destroying all of the enemy tanks? And overall, these are just a few of the many tactical and strategic factors that should be taken into consideration when fighting a cornered enemy. But these factors should also be considered by both teams, for both teams. So both teams should be considering the same factors for themselves and for the enemy. So now we are getting into the replay here, and what you can see right now in this situation here is we are on Malinovka Winter, because we don't have normal Malinovka anymore for some reason. Oh, I know the reason, but it doesn't matter. And the situation right now is that we are losing 1v7. Now, this is I'm going to just list the many factors that you guys should be taking note of. One is that the terrain we are on is advantageous to us. So, you know, we are on a hill. They have to expose themselves in order to get to us, whereas we can sit pretty much hull down and shoot and hull down. You know, we don't have to expose ourselves that much. The game mode is team destruction. So in order for them to win, they have to come to us. The remaining tanks on the team, for the most part, all are around in the top tier area. We don't have very many tier 8s, I don't believe. And we're all moderately in good health. So we can afford to take a couple shots, and some of us can afford to be take a little couple risks in order to get shots. The other thing is that we do still have at least one person that was part of a platoon alive. So that means those platoon members could potentially be talking and sharing information. So one of his dead platoon mates might be sharing the health status of each of us to his teammate, or feeding him information that he doesn't need to no longer focus on, and instead he can focus on what's in front of him. And again, our remaining tanks were a little bit on the heavy hitting side, so or had good rates of fire, good mobility, good turret armor, so we could pretty much do something. We wouldn't just be rolled over. And what you're seeing right now is we're just trying to beat back and punish any tanks that are exposing themselves. The Batchat and the Aguila were doing really bad jobs at this. They just kept rolling up and either trading 1 for 1 or 2 for 1, and it just was not working out. And you're seeing that, many of us are getting a lot of shots on the Batchat. The Aguila, just, I don't know why, RNG was just planting me shots right into the turret of the Aguila. But what you're seeing right now is we were slowly being able to beat them off on either side of the hill. So we could punish them, we could beat them in their own little fights. So whether it was the northern slope or the southern slope, we were able to go and just punish them, because again, they had to come to us in order to defeat us. And again, there is no artillery in this. I did forget to mention that with the remaining tanks. There is no artillery, so we did not have to worry about support from the sky coming down, and that probably would have been a very strong deciding factor there in whether or not the team that had the map control had a chance of defeating us. So yes, that is a very important factor as well to consider, is when it comes to the remaining tanks, is do they have artillery? But as you can see here, for the most part, we have now pushed ourselves into the enemy's line, so to speak. We have defeated them on the southern slope, and now we have broken through, and we are now pretty much have a way to get off the hill. There are a couple of us sticking up on top of the hill, mostly just because there are still tanks on the northern slope that we have to deal with. And last thing you want to do is have tanks coming around behind us, shooting us in the back while we are still trying to push and defeat them. Now, unfortunately, I make a mistake on my own here, as I get, bloodlust going through me. The competitive, anyone that's played sports knows exactly what I'm talking about. You just get the fire in your eyes, and you just want to go. You don't want to do work, and that's what ends up happening to me. And I make the mistake, and you're going to see that I get myself caught out in the open in front of an E4, and I just kind of was like a deer in the headlights. And for that moment, I had no idea where to go. So yeah. But other than that, that is a very, almost, I do believe, a textbook demonstration of exactly how to deal with, or pretty much mostly a demonstration of the factors that can actually dictate how a losing team that is cornered and has no map control can actually turn it around into their favor. But that's going to conclude it for today's video on part 2 of map control. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this one, please consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon for notifications. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.